Hello and welcome to part 3 of my How to Crochet series, and I'll be showing you the basic stitches you might use when crocheting. As I mentioned in part 1, when it comes to stitches there are two versions, US and UK. They are the same but with slightly different names which can be confusing, so it is a good idea when following a pattern is to work out which version it is, or if you're creating your own pattern, to stick with one. Before we start learning the basic stitches, we definitely need to learn how to chain. So we're going to start off with the slip knot that we learnt in part 2. And now you'll be able to see there's a loop on the hook already. So now we're going to wrap the yarn around our hook and we're going to pull it through the loop on the hook. Okay, you want to create that little gap and pull that yarn through. And once you get used to holding the yarn, working with the hook, your chains should become equal. You'd work out the gauge and the tension that you're using and they'll be equal. But it takes time, it takes practice. So now we know how to chain, we're going to use this as the foundation of practicing our stitches. So we're going to start off with a slip knot and we're going to chain 11. Now although we have only just chained 11, we're only going to do 10 stitches in a row. So the 11th chain is going to act as our little bridge or a little level up in order to make our row of single crochets. So we're now going to insert the hook in the second chain from the hook. Now I tend to go in the top loops of the chain. You can go in the 2 loops, but I just find it incredibly fiddly and it doesn't make much of a difference. So we're now going to wrap the yarn over our hook and we're going to pull it back through that chain, and there'll be 2 loops on the hook. So we're now going to yarn over again and then we're going to pull through the 2 loops, and that is the single crochet. So we'll try that again. We're going to insert our hook into the next chain. We're going to wrap the yarn around and we're going to pull it back through that stitch. Then we're going to yarn over again and we're going to put it through the 2 loops that are on the hook. We'll try that one more time. We're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on the hook. We're going to finish this row with 7 more single crochets, and when we come to the end we'll start another row and keep practicing. I'd advise, if you need to pause the video, if you need to replay it, please do. Once you get this basic stitch down, the single crochet, then the rest will follow easily. As with anything, just keep practicing. Just sit in front of the TV and just chain and then single crochet back and forth. And then once you've got the single crochet down, then you can carry on with the half double crochets and go on to the double crochets and then the triple crochets, and then you can just play around. Like I said before, it's a hobby, not a chore. Okay, so now we're coming to that last single crochet of the row. So now when I first learned, I was taught to chain 1 and then turn the work. But since then, I've learned that if you turn your work first and then you chain the 1, then it creates a much neater edge. So that's what we'll do. Okay, so now we're not working in chains anymore, we're going to be working into stitches. And as you can see from the top, there's a nice neat little V line, little V shape. Okay, so they are your stitches and that's what you'll be working into. So going under those 2 strands of yarn will create our single crochets. So I'm just going to speed up the video now, just for the benefit of not having an hour-long video for you to watch. Okay, and as we come to that last stitch, we'll be able to look back and see what we've just made. You should have 2 rows of single crochets there. Now yours might look a bit wibbly and wobbly, but that does not matter because you're going to keep practicing and practicing and you'll have fun doing it. So like I said before, just stick a TV show on, stick a film on, chain 11, chain however many you want, and just single crochet back and forth until you're comfortable with it, okay? So now for the half double crochet, we're going to start with a slip knot but chain 12 instead. So we're now going to try and do another 10 half double crochets in a row. So as we've chained 12, that means the last two we're going to act and use as a step up or a level up for the row. As the half double crochet is slightly higher than the single crochet, we need the extra chain to bring us up. So we're now going to yarn over and we'll insert in the third chain from the hook. We're going to yarn over again and pull that yarn back through. So now we have 3 loops on the hook. So now we're going to yarn over again and we're going to pull through all 3 loops on the hook. And that's your half double crochet. So we'll try that again. We're going to yarn over. We'll insert in the next chain. Yarn over again and pull through. Yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. One more time, yarn over, insert into the next chain, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3. We'll now carry on for the next 7 chains until we get to the end. If you need to pause and rewind and watch it again, please do. It's all about practicing, it's all about working out what you're doing, how you're holding the yarn, what you're doing with your hook. And now in this last stitch, we'll be able to quickly have a look at what we have made. And as you can see, it adds a bit more height than the single crochet. Okay, so we're now going to turn our work again and we're going to chain 2 to make up for the extra height that you don't have with the single crochet. And again, you have your stitches instead of the chains to work into. Okay, so we're going to yarn over, ignoring the 2 chains, going straight into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. And we'll do this 10 more times to the end of the row, just to keep practicing, familiarise yourself with the stitch. And by the end, hopefully you'll have got into the flow of how to do it. And now just finishing up with that last stitch of the row. As you can see, we'll just tie off and then we'll compare the 2 rows that we've just made. Okay, as you can see, the single crochet row is a lot shorter and also a lot tighter. With the half double crochet, you've got a bit more give and it's obviously taller. Okay, so now for the double crochet, we're going to start with the slip knot and we're going to chain 12 just like the half double crochet. Okay, and those 2 chains at the end will act as our step up. So we're going to yarn over and insert in the 3rd chain from the hook. Going to yarn over again and pull through. So now you'll see that you've got 3 loops on the hook, just like the half double crochet, but now we're just going to go through the 2. So we're going to yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, and we're going to yarn over again and pull through the next 2. Okay, so let's try that again. We're going to yarn over, insert in the next chain, yarn over and pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 of them, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through both. Okay, one more time, yarn over, insert through the next chain, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on the hook, pull through 2 of them, pull through 2 of them. Okay, and we'll continue that for the next 7 chains until we get to the end of the row, and then we'll do another row just to keep practicing, just to familiarise yourself with double crochet. Okay, and we'll just finish off this last stitch and we'll have a look at what we've made. As you can see, it's a lot higher than the half double crochet. So it's going to turn our work and we'll chain 2. Gaps are a lot larger and there's a lot more give in the material that you're creating. Okay, we're just going to carry on with the double crochet in the next 10 stitches, just as we did before. Yarning over, inserting, yarning over, pulling through 2, pulling through 2. Yarn over, insert, pull through 2, pull through 2, and so on all the way to the end. Just keep practicing this double crochet as you did with the single crochet and as you did with the half double crochet. You can only improve with practice. Okay, just finishing off this last double crochet stitch. And now we can have a look and compare between the single crochet, half double crochet and the double crochet. As you'll notice, the single crochet is shorter, and therefore if you wanted to make a blanket, you will need more rows of single crochet than you would for a blanket of the same length made from double crochet. The single crochet is comparatively stiffer and sturdier than the other 2 stitches, which makes it good for bodies of work such as animals or dolls. It will also hold stuffing in better, as with double crochet the gaps will struggle to keep the filling in. Okay, so now for the treble crochet. So we're going to start with the slip knot and we're going to chain 13. And again, these last 3 stitches will be acting as our level up or our step up to make our row of treble crochets. So we're going to start by wrapping the yarn around our hook twice. Then we're going to find the 4th chain from the hook. Okay, and then we're going to insert our hook. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through. And there will be 4 loops on the hook. Now going to yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over again and pull through another 2. And guess what? Yarn over and pull through the last 2. Okay, so just like the double crochet, but we're just adding the extra level on top. So I'll try that again. I'm going to yarn over twice. In the next chain, we'll insert our hook. Yarn over and pull through, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Okay, and one more time, we're going to wrap the yarn over twice, insert in the next chain, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then pull through the last 2. Okay, and we're just going to continue in the next 7 chains until we get to the end, just to keep practicing, get used to the wrapping around the yarn twice. It's a new skill, a new technique that you're using, so it can be a bit tricky. Okay, and now coming into that last stitch, or last chain of that row. Okay, and we're now going to turn our work and then chain 3. Okay, and as you can see, those gaps are a lot more pronounced than the double crochet gaps. Okay, so now we're going to yarn over and insert into the next stitch, and then we're going to continue all the way to the end, just to keep practicing, just so you can really tell the difference between all the stitches that you've made. Comparing the double crochet and the treble crochet, you can see there's 2 levels for the double crochet and 3 for the treble crochet. So now, as a little bonus, I'm going to show you how to do a slip stitch. So I've just done a row of half double crochets and I've just started another row of half double crochets. So now we're going to insert our hook in the next stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull through, and then we're going to pull straight through that loop on the hook. A nice, easy, simple one. So again, we're going to insert, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the loop on the hook. Okay, and that is as simple as that. So yarn over, pull through both the stitch and the loop at the same time. Now, slip stitches are usually used to end a row, as it has a flattening effect, as it doesn't provide any height, rather it hugs the final stitch back into the row. I've also used it in my patterns for details, to tidying edges or creating a trim. I've used them to manipulate the direction of my stitches as well, so it can be quite a diverse stitch if you want it to be. Now, I don't just want to show you all of these stitches without showing you them in action. My duckling pattern is the first video I have made for my channel. And for the tail of my duckling, I combined all 4 stitches to help change the shape of my work. So as you can see, I'm working in single crochets here. And now I change to half double crochets for the next few stitches. And now I go into double crochets. And now I'm going into treble crochets. See, even I forget. And now, as we've reached the height of the tail, of the tip of the tail, I work back down into double crochets. Okay, and now we're going back into half double crochets. And then I continue in single crochets for the rest. As you can see, by using a mixture of different stitches, this can help change the shape of your work. So now we know our stitches, I shall briefly show you how to put them into a magic ring, which we learnt how to do in part 2 of the series. So I'll start off by showing you how to do the single crochet, and then I'll do the half double crochet. So we're going to work in the top part of the magic ring. Okay, and we're going to use that strand as the stitch that we work around. Okay, so it's exactly the same as you'd use for a stitch, but instead we're just wrapping it around that ring. Okay, same goes for the half double crochet. So we'll yarn over, then go into the stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, so the same idea, exactly as you'd go through a stitch, but instead you're just wrapping it around the top part of the magic ring. We will put as many stitches in the magic ring as required, then pull the tail end of the yarn to tighten the ring. And then we can continue on with the first stitch you created. Usually in the second row of the magic ring we will begin to increase, which will lead us nicely into our next episode of my How to Crochet series, increasing and decreasing. I really hope you like part 3 and you now have a better understanding of crocheting and all the basic stitches. I have more tutorials on the way, you can check in the description what I have in store, so please subscribe to be notified when the next part is released. Please share with friends and family or anyone who you think might enjoy being part of the crocheting world. It is such a gratifying hobby, as I hope you already know, and it will be great to see more young ones learning the craft. I hope to see you back here for part 4, increasing and decreasing. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.